At each annual meeting, the exhibit hall is really anchored by Lifeway Christian Resources, and on this week's episode of The Road to Indy, presented by Southern Seminary and Boyce College, we sit down with Ben Mandrell to hear about Lifeway's plans for Indianapolis. Ben, thanks for joining us today.
Man, thanks so much for giving me this opportunity to talk a little bit about the new innovative thing we're doing this year.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, every year, Lifeway has one of the largest exhibits, and that's no different this year. I mean, a massive exhibit in the exhibit hall this year. So tell us what that experience is going to be like this year, because it's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, so the whole strategy of Lifeway right now is arranged around the key church leaders. So we're thinking through the lens of a senior pastor, a worship pastor, a children's minister, a student pastor, and we're trying to think through what tools can we design that would help them in their jobs. And in order for us to do that well, we have to have lots of conversations with these people and really know what's happening in their churches. So we've designed a store experience this year that's going to look really different. It's going to be far more beautiful, far more aesthetically pleasing. It's going to be really fun to look at and be a part of. But each area of the store is designated for a certain church leader. So there's going to be like the place where the senior pastors can come and hang out and find all of our best products for senior pastors, all the way down through the list. So it's very relational this year. It's going to feel less like a closeout sale, like a clearance sale. It's going to feel more like an invitation to come. We're also going to have our own hot coffee. So we hope that'll be a draw for people.
There we go. So coffee in the Lifeway booth this year. So that's going to be really neat. And again, like you mentioned, I've seen the renderings for this. It's phenomenal looking. Like it's completely different. I mean, in the past, you had your little booths and things in the Lifeway larger exhibit, but this year it's going to be completely different. I think people are going to be blown away by it. So how will the experience for the convention goer be different this year than in previous years?
Yeah, it's going to be different in that it's going to be more focused. If you're a student pastor, you're going to go to the area that's really designated for you, and you're going to see like the top 30 or 40 or 50 things that we sell right now for student pastors. It's going to be a curated list, not quite so overwhelming to the eye. And that's not to say you can't, go look at our giant CSB exhibit, because we're going to have a huge spot for the CSB because it continues to be the fastest growing translation in the world right now. So we're so proud of that. And we want CSB to have a front seat, So we're going to design this around what church leaders want.
Yeah. And whenever they come there, you're going to also have Lifeway personnel to be able to talk through them. So, hey, I need resources on X in my student ministry or in my music ministry. You're going to have your experienced professionals, and you've got the best in the business, in my opinion, over at Lifeway to be able to help people do that, right?
Absolutely. And we'll have a ton of staff there. We had a hiccup this year with worship leaders when we announced that we were canceling lifewayworship.com. Since then, we've had 2 rounds of listening sessions, and we're completely retooling what we're doing with Lifeway Worship. We're going to continue to offer the tools we're looking for different options to be able to do that effectively, but we've had great conversations. So I think it's really going to be a place, Jonathan, where people can come and say, hey, here's the struggle I'm having at my church. What do you got in the toolbox?
Yeah.
So I think it'll be more efficient.
Yeah.
It'll be more efficient, more effective.
Yeah. And that's what people want, I think, out of Lifeway, is to be able to help them do ministry better, and you guys are the best at doing that. But there's other ways that people can connect with Lifeway at the annual meeting other than just in the exhibit hall. Tell us about some of those.
Well, one of the big things we're partnering with this year is the Kendrick brothers have a new movie coming out called The Forge, and it's really about discipleship. This one was designed with the church in mind in terms of how could churches catch the vision for life-on-life discipleship. So the movie is, I think, one of the best ones they've done. We're going to do a free screening at the SBC this year during the 4:30 lunch break on Tuesday. And in addition to the screening, we're going to be offering a free box dinner for those who register. And so we're going to have to cap that at about 800. The Kendrick brothers are going to come and talk to the audience about how and why they made the movie. It's going to be a really cool opportunity. And Lifeway is creating several books and resources to go alongside the movie for churches that want to tie in.
So that one sounds like a great opportunity for churches to do both increased outreach and evangelism, as well as use it to spur discipleship within the local church.
Yeah, one of the big problems churches have had post-COVID is how do we turn people from attenders to like truly invested part of the church? Well, this discipleship pathway is the key. And I think the film that the Kendrick brothers put together was really a challenge to the church to see it as a relational network, a place to get to know people, and not just a place to come and consume a sermon. So I hope the movie has a ripple effect on, the psyche of the local church and where we need to go.
Yeah, and we've seen that with past movies from them. And you mentioned that break on Tuesday afternoon. Again, there's a Tuesday night session for those of you watching at home this year. So instead of doing that movie screening like typical at night on that Tuesday, it's going to be during that dinner break. So you can go get a free dinner with Lifeway. Again, Ben said you got to register for that. You can find all the information in the app. And whenever you go into the app, there's a specific Lifeway tab. So you can click on that and get all the information from Lifeway right there on the home screen of the SBC annual meeting app. And I know that's a big bonus for people to be able to know what's coming before they even get there from Lifeway. And so, Ben, we want to thank y'all for helping us do that again this year. So kind of overview, what do you hope that messengers will take away from their experience with Lifeway at the annual meeting this year?
Yeah, the three things Lifeway tries to be for the church is faithful, joyful, and by your side. Those are the three things we talk about. We want to be faithful to the text. We don't want churches thinking we're deviating from the Bible. We're sticking with the Bible. Everything we print is inside the Baptist Faith and Message. But we also want to be joyful. Like, we want to have fun conversations with people. We want to have lock eyes, so they're not just staring at rows of books, but just, hey, tell me what's going on in your church. How can we help you find something? And then third is we just want to be by your side. Like, Lifeway can't tell people how to do church. We're not leading in your context. So we want to listen, and we want to bring back more information to headquarters to think, okay, what do we need to design? What are people asking for that we don't have or that doesn't exist anywhere? Those conversations are the key to moving Lifeway forward in relevance to the church.
Yeah, and one of the pieces you mentioned that, I know we hadn't really talked about this yet, but something that I think fits the mold of exactly what you're talking about is hi-fi. I know it's something you guys are really excited about. It came out last year, kind of debuted publicly. I mean, it was in some beta testing before that, but like really made a big splash last year. How's that going so far?
Yeah, I've got several things I'd love to just throw out there real quick. Hi-Fi is a curriculum that is designed for churches that are trying to reach the far from God. In some contexts where you have a very evangelistic pastor, there's a lot of folks coming that have no biblical background. They don't have a clue who Noah was. They don't have a clue who Jonah was. So Hi-Fi was designed for that kid to help him have a soft on-ramp to the gospel, to understand the Bible. There's 8 times more media in this than anything we've ever done. So it's very modern, and it connects with that younger next-gen audience. So it's our next-gen curriculum. We've already seen it surpass our goals for year one. We're really excited about that. Another thing I would mention is what people are always asking about men's resources. We have a brand new CSB Men's Daily Bible that's coming out. I think it's going to be a huge hit. It's the CSB, but as you walk through the Bible, it's got devotions written by highly respected Christian men to kind of go along with the scriptures. So it's a great gift for a man who's just kind of needing something fresh in his devotional life. And then the CSB Explore Bible for Kids won Bible of the Year last year. Lots of fun covers that we hope pastors' wives and pastors can be like, I want to get these for our kids at church. So happy to spotlight that too.
That's the perfect Bible for you to use in August when you're doing promotion Sunday and you're presenting those first graders or kindergartners, however you do it in your church. I know a lot of churches do this. A wife that was a children's minister for a long time did this. That is the perfect Bible for your church to use.
It really is.
Kids
it's got
in your
tons of illustrations and pictures and help them understand the Bible, but also the covers. There's 5 different covers that all have different designs. So, for the kid who likes space, there's a spaceship one. And for the kid who likes, an outdoor scene, there's an outdoor scene. So it's just really cool the way they did it.
Now, last thing, and we'd kind of be remiss if we didn't talk about this coming into the summer. It'll be highlighted at the annual meeting, I'm sure, in a small way, but a lot of churches will be ready for it, is VBS. Number one evangelistic outreach tool that churches have. And I know you guys, you're the leader in the clubhouse, basically, when it comes to VBS resources. What are you hearing about this year?
Well, we're really excited for this year's VBS. This is 100 year for us, 100th anniversary of VBS.
Okay.
So
I did not know that. That's amazing.
Believe it or not, it was just brought to my attention. I was like, how did I not know this? So we're going to be doing some party stuff, the SBC, and probably going to use a little of a report time to just give thanks to God for 100 years of Vacation Bible School. I mean, I may actually have everybody in the room who's been saved through VBS raise their hand. I'll bet it'll be a lot of people.
I bet it would. So that's amazing.
This next theme is already selling great. It's called Breaker Beach. It's a Northwest theme. Lots of our video guys really love shooting this one.
Yeah.
They got to go out to Washington State and see all that beautiful landscape out there. So we're really excited about it.
All right, very cool. So you can find out more at lifeway.com or check the app, click on the Lifeway icon there, give you the full information about what's going on at the annual meeting. Ben, thanks for taking the time today. And thank you for watching at home. We want to remind you that your road to Indy and your road back home should include a quick side trip to Southern Seminary and Boyce College. You can go to sbts.edu/road trip to see what Southern has planned for SBC 24 road trippers just like you. That's sbts.edu/road trip. Again, we hope to see you in Indianapolis in June. Join us again next week right here on the Road to Indy, presented by Southern Seminary and Boyce College.